So this is a physical object, right? And we're seeing it through the eyes. So right now, so let's just say this physical object is not here. So this is just empty awareness. And this object arises and it comes into awareness and it leaves awareness. For a moment, I am aware of it and it goes. If it was this easy with thoughts, then none of us would struggle with inquiry. The thing with thoughts, the thing that makes thoughts very sticky and makes them pull you in is that in awareness, let's just say here, emptiness, free of all content, a thought arises. This thought says, I don't understand inquiry, I'm very scared or whatever. You're not looking at the thought just like this, like you're seeing the bottle. You're seeing it away from you. When a thought arises in awareness, it sort of is felt to be you. And it starts to project things from here. I know this looks silly, but just bear with me. It no longer is being seen like this, like coming and going in front of you. It is arising like here, and from here, it's projecting what it's saying. Like, I am scared. And it always hangs behind this I. You see? That's its life force. It arises as this. So not as this, that you just see it come and go. It arises as this. And it's like, I am scared. Or I don't understand inquiry. And so it pulls you into this, like it pulls you into being what it is saying or what it is projecting. And that is the reason you now, as soon as you, in this moment, just take yourself to be this. You take whatever this thought is saying to be your voice. Now another thought comes like this that says another thing based on the previous thought. And then another thought comes in. And so it's just a thought after thought. And you just take it to be yourself and you're saying all sorts of things and you're now in this battle. And then another thought says that it says like, I hate this battle. I want to be out of it and I want to be silent. But it's like you're still just identified as this. Inquiry is, so what this thought arises that says, I don't understand this. Instead of you just believing this, instead of caring about what the thought is saying, you're sort of like seeing that this is seen. That there's an awareness of this. Even though it felt like I am thinking this thought, even that itself, the sense of being the thinker of this thought is also seen. So you're creating a separation. And as soon as you create this separation, you acknowledge, I am aware of this thought. This passes. And then another one arises. And it's going to also have a sticky quality to it. And then again, you just, instead of going off into what is projecting, you just, again, I am aware of this. And the moment you acknowledge, you will see, quite literally, the moment you take your attention away, so attention is on the thought, instead of that, you bring it back to just, I am aware. So it's not even, you're not taking your attention, putting it on something else, which is what you're used to. You're automatically like, just, I am aware. Attention is no longer outward. It's just here. And as soon as it comes back here, this loses its life force and it collapses. This needs your attention on it to be. It has no beingness of its own. It borrows beingness from you. As soon as you bring it back, this goes. And another one arises. So inquiry is quite literally this process of understanding that there's an awareness of all this stuff, whether it be a thought, whether it be an emotion, or whatever. I am just the seeing. I am just the awareness. So you just take the witnessing role. Even if you just have to believe it for now, it will help still. It will help you eventually understand this. And it will build your capacity to not buy into all the things that the mind is just saying. You see now, this thought that arises that says, oh my God, I'm so miserable and I don't understand inquiry, it is no longer bought into. Instead, you're like, there's an awareness of even this thought. And it allows you to sort of objectify that thought, and it goes. Because you see, going back to a regular example, the physical bottle, like it comes into my experience and it goes. It is seen. So it's like I'm the subject and this bottle is an object. I see the object, go. The reason it's difficult with thoughts is that thought arises and it is not known to be the object. It is assumed to be the subject, to be what I am. And so we fall into what it's projecting. Inquiry is you making the thought, or not making the thought, acknowledging that the thought is an object. And I, the awareness of it, whatever it may be, is the subject. I am not this thought. And therefore, you are free of whatever it's projecting. So previously, this thought arose, was like, I am confused. Because you took it to be what I am. Because you thought it was a subject. Now, you are the confused one. And you will never understand inquiry. You will go on through this course or this teaching, and you will be the confused one. And you will look through this lens. And all you will see is this little narrow view. And in this, all there is confusion. So what I'm telling you is that recognize that there's an awareness of even this thought. I am aware of it. And as soon as you acknowledge that, this also passes. And you are no longer subject to what it's projecting. You don't have to suffer or experience it anymore. So see clearly that there's an awareness of this thought. And then, once you've sort of understood that this is not me, that there's an awareness of this thought, that is where sort of inquiry, is like, okay, then what is this that is the subject? What is it that is aware? And so it starts to not only create a space between you and thoughts. Thoughts lose their ability to be the subject now. Thoughts will still arise, but they will now more and more be seen as objects. There will be this greater capacity to create this space between you and thoughts. And you will start to wake up to more and more to what this actual subject actually is of your experience. You are this subject even now. You don't become this subject. You are it even now. You just start to wake up to the fact that this is the case. You start to wake up to what you really are.
But that was really helpful. I feel very clear. I don't have any confusion. It feels clear. It feels like something I can easily do and something I'm really looking forward to doing.
Beautiful. See, there's just like acknowledging that these thoughts are not you is like already a sense of peace. So see that like this relief, this peace,
yes.
I did not create. You did not create. It is just automatically what arises when you see that this is the case. So this will allow you to, at work, right, all these sticky thoughts that you're constantly getting mixed up in, or let's just say your boss yells at you and says something, right? This thought that arises that says, I am offended, is also not what you really are. It's not your voice. And you're able to see even this and not get tangled up in the dysfunction that it creates in your life. Because maybe it'll hold on to all these sorts of resentments and maybe even fight against the boss. And it will only create further negative impressions in your mind. It will only create more suffering for you. Whereas this space, automatically the proper action will unfold. You have to trust that. I can't prove that to you right now or give you another example for it. But this trust will allow you to see that this space, this natural intelligence, that same intelligence which is keeping your heart beating right now without effort, is the same intelligence which is going to sort of take care of that situation. Maybe, and the time it takes or whatever is not in our control. We cannot. So this is such a peaceful way of being, and this is such a sort of like a way of being where you're not getting pulled in all sorts of directions. This is true self-control, self-mastery.
Yeah. I definitely feel that. I definitely see it. I feel a whole lot more peaceful.
Beautiful. Very, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
But it is this simple, and it is sort of repetitive in nature where you have to again and again see this. Because just now, the clarity that you may be experiencing right now with this process, you're not going to see it as easily as this bottle. When you're actually now going through the rest of your day and all these thoughts are arising. You have to continue to see again and again that this sense of thinking thoughts is arising as the subject, and you have to put them into their real place. They're the object. There's an awareness of them. Again and again acknowledge this, that this is arising in awareness and it's subsiding. It is coming and it is going. This awareness, though, that is aware of them. It is as it is. It is what remains as it is, even when these contents are here, and then also when you remove them. And so we have to acknowledge ourselves as the actual subject. The problem arises and suffering arises when we take ourselves to be an object of experience. So this thought that arises, when we objectify ourselves, when you become an object of experience, now you have come to a very, very limited role, and you will experience whatever this is limited role is projecting. Whereas self-inquiry is allowing you to come into alignment with your own true nature, which is the space-like quality of awareness. That subtlest of intelligence, which knows your thoughts, which knows this body, which knows this world. So inquiry is taking your attention inward. And it is as simple as, again and again, seeing that there's an awareness of this thought. Rather than me being interested in the content of what it's projecting, what is it that is aware of it? First, you objectify the thought, and then you see what is it that is aware. And then that question sort of just keeps your attention here. Bring it back to just this quality of being aware. Nothing else, free of content. And just dwell here. Another thought arises as the subject. First, sort of objectify it, see that there's an awareness of this thought, and just, again, what is it that is aware? You don't have to ask this question every single time. You simply just have to acknowledge the awareness. There's an awareness, there's a presence. And just stay here. This starts out as, you just maybe do it as a meditation, but now then later on, like, this becomes life. Do this all day, every day. Again and again, see this. And with it, you experience greater and greater amounts of freedom from your attachments, from your impatience, from even your own desires you suffer. Your time constraints, your resistances, your fears. They're all objectified. They are no longer who I am. My past is no longer who I am. My past is simply another thought that arises, and I deny it my beingness. So all this stuff that we're clinging onto and diluting the freshness of this moment with, we start to detach ourselves from, become free of it from. This is the true healing. That's why I always say this is the only real healing. All other healing is like very, very personal. It keeps you in mind. That's why you feel like you've never healed enough. You never feel like there's always more emotional healing to do. No, this is a true letting go of not only the past, but also the one for whom it's relevant. From this, the personal identity, right, now can actually come into alignment with this understanding. It is no longer just a puppet of its past, its desires and resistances, its conditioning. There's greater understanding, there's greater peace, there's greater self-control, and life is perceived simply. You're no longer just yanked around in 50 different directions throughout the day. And like everything, like, someone gives you a bad look, you're automatically, the rest of your day is ruined or something like that, So you're getting rid of these tendencies. You're growing up. Nisargadatta Maharaj, right? He said, it's time to grow up. Don't just grow old. This is the true growing up. This is true maturity. Thanks for watching this video. Just 2 things before you go. If you want to learn how to implement the teaching that we cover on this channel in a step-by-step format and really develop your understanding of it in a faster way, make sure to watch my free 1-hour class that I'm offering right now. And second, if you want to work with me personally to help you dissolve mind identification and return to peace through self-inquiry, check out my program down below. It's called the Higher Consciousness Shift. Enrollments are now open, so just check out the details and book your free call, and we'll see if it's right for you. That's all I have for you today. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.